And here we're looking at the most expensive bars in the world. What makes them the most expensive bars? The precision work that goes into putting the knurling in, which is one of the things that roughens the bar and raises the surface.
While new equipment and modern technologies often bring incredible advancements, there's something special about old equipment. From a time when industries were smaller, demand was simpler, and craftsmanship often meant skilled hands shaping every detail, these objects were built to get the fundamentals right. Each scratch and every dent carries a story. It's impossible not to wonder who held these tools, who relied on them, and what moments they were part of.
In 1963, during the World Cup in Stockholm, Eleiko premiered its Olympic barbell at an international competition. For the first time in world history, a single barbell lasted an entire competition.
I found this bar completely by chance. My coach told me about an old weightlifting club that was shutting down and they were giving away all the equipment for free. So my friend and I decided to check it out. When we got there, we walked into this old school weight room that hadn't been touched in years. You could smell the dust and the metal in the air. The floor was partially ripped up. Most of the barbells were bent and there were only a handful of plates left that weren't completely wrecked. The standout was a single straight barbell. We took it home and it wasn't until later that I realized it was an old Eleiko.
Das ist richtig viel Range of Motion.
The bar itself is 220 centimeters long, just like modern ones. As far as I could find, it's from the 1970s. The markings on the bar are in the exact same spot as modern bars, but there are some subtle differences. The inner distance from collar to collar is a few centimeters longer than today's bars. That means the sleeves, where the plates are loaded, are slightly shorter. There's an old post on the average bro's Instagram that explains this. The design accommodated a single 50 kilogram plate instead of two 25 kilogram plates. Another unique feature of this bar is how the fixed part of the sleeve extends all the way up to the plate loading area. The rotating section is held in place by a bolt at the very end. The condition of the bar isn't perfect, but it's surprisingly good for its age. It's still straight, but the knurling is almost completely worn down, leaving the grip smooth and slippery. One side of the sleeve still spins smoothly, while the other doesn't rotate at all. It's clear this bar has seen decades of heavy use, and it's earned its scars. Restoring the bar was easier than I expected. I knocked out the bolts, slid off the sleeves, cleaned off all the old grease and gunk, and gave everything a fresh coat of oil. I also scrubbed the knurling with a wire brush to clean off years of sweat, rust and probably blood. It's not perfect, but it's way better now. After putting it together, I took it to my friend's place. He has one of the most well-preserved vintage Eleiko sets I've ever seen. Using the old bar with matching plates for a session just felt right. Thinking about the lifts this bar has seen over the years was a cool thought. While snatching, I didn't really notice much of a difference. I worked up to 120, but my form wasn't great that day. clean and jerks were a different story though. The extra whip from the plates being farther out was noticeable, even at 145 kilo. It wasn't extreme, but it was there. I compared it to a jerk I did with a new Eleiko bar a few days earlier. Maybe I'm tripping, but you can see it ever so slightly. Front squats felt the same. I worked up to 165 and you can really see how much more the bar flexes compared to the newer models. The fact that this was the only bar in the entire gym that wasn't even a little bent says everything you need to know about the quality of this barbell. It's easily the coolest find I've ever had, and the fact that I got it for free is just insane. I think the extra whip from the plate sitting farther out would be really interesting to test with lifters who are jerking 180 and up. That kind of weight would really show the effect. For now though, I'm just stoked to have it. This bar has been through decades of lifting and now it gets a new chapter with me.